All right, sixth graders, we're going to start with our lesson today, which is Shapes and Designs 1.4, and it's part 2. Please make sure you have out your math notebook so you are able to write anything down in your notebook that you would need. So we're going to start out here with some vocabulary words. Your first word is complementary angles, which are angles that add up to 90 degrees. Your second vocabulary word we're going to talk about today is supplementary angles, and those are angles that add up to 180 degrees. So take a moment, you're going to record these in your math notebook, flip to your next page, and you are going to title it SD 1.4 for Shapes and Designs. Go ahead and pause this video to write down those two new vocabulary words, and when you have that done, please start the video back up. All right, the first examples that we're going to talk about here are complementary angles. So if you look at this figure here on the right-hand side, we have two angles, a 60-degree angle and a 30-degree angle. Together, 60 plus 30 would give you 90 degrees. So this is a complementary angle, as it's a 90-degree angle. These angles are adjacent to each other, which is something we talked about yesterday in class. Over here, your figure on the left-hand side, these are also complementary angles. They're not adjacent to each other. However, when you would add your 50 and your 40, they would give you 90. So this is a complementary angle as well. Supplementary angles. So we're going to first look at this figure here on the left-hand side. We have a 120-degree angle and we have a 60-degree angle. If you notice, they're on a straight line, and a straight line would give you 180 degrees. If you would add your 120 plus 60, you would get 180 degrees. These angles are adjacent to each other and they are supplementary. This figure here on the right, we have two angles again. We have a 140-degree angle and we have a 40-degree angle. You could see if you would put them together, they would have this straight line running across the bottom again. And we know that 140 plus 40 is 180. These two angles are also supplementary to each other. So let's put this all together here. Our first example, you are looking to find the missing angle. So if you look in your figure on the left, we have a 25-degree angle, and then we have an X where we do not know what that value is. So we know that this forms a 90-degree angle, so it's complementary. So in order to figure that out, we're going to start with our 90 degrees, and we're going to take away the 25 degrees, and that is going to give us our value of X. So we have 90 take away 25 is equal to X. So when we go through and we subtract that and we solve it, we find out that X is equal to 65. So our value right here is 65 degrees. A way for you to check that, to make sure you've done it correctly, you would say 65 degrees plus your 25 degrees equals 90 degrees, which is a complementary angle. Our second example where you're going to find the missing angle. If you notice, they have that straight line again when they're put together there on the bottom, equaling 180 degrees. So these angles are supplementary. We know that one of those angles is 37 degrees. Our other one is X, and that's our unknown, so we need to figure out how many degrees that is. So similar to how you would figure out for complementary angles, this time you're just going to take 180, take away your 37, and that's going to give you your value of X. So if you calculate that and subtract, your X value is equal to 143 degrees. So right here is 143 degrees. In order to check it, to make sure you've done it correctly, you need to take your two values. So 143 plus your 37 gives you your 180 degrees, which is your supplementary angles. So take a moment, go back through the video, jot down any diagrams and anything that you would like to, because remember, anything that's in your notes you can use on the upcoming quiz or test.